Yeah! I think that's the correct way to pronounce it. Hello everybody, good morning. We're gonna play some Star Wars The Old Republic today. I'm looking forward to playing with y'all. We're gonna be running an operation and we actually have currently 5 spots open for anyone who would like to join us. We are going to be running the Terror from Beyond operation. The requirements are going to be level 80, Starforge server, subscribe to the game, and Republic side. And we love taking along people who are new to level 80, who are maybe don't get to run operations a lot, who may have maybe never ran an operation before or feel like they aren't any good. We would love to have you along for the ride. We love taking along people who don't get to run operations very often. So we currently have a group of 12 out of a possible 16. If you would like to join us, you're going to whisper the character named Nessa, Republic side Starforge server. And if you don't know how to whisper, feel free to let us know in Twitch chat or YouTube chat as soon as possible, and we'll get you all sorted up. Oh, Mara Amethyst is like, I'm gonna whisper Swtorista, even though there's a good chance she might not be paying attention. Yeah, just story mode. Oh, awesome. Janito Tony says, I would like to join. Let's see if we can find you. What's your, you can just put an X in guild chat too if you want. We need to know what your character name is to make sure to get you invited, Janito Tony. You're logging in now. Okay. Please save a spot for Janito Tony. Right. You don't have to be in the guild to join, just to be super clear. I was just saying, then I can invite you from the guild list. Oh, that's gonna be it. Full then. Unless Torin is Janito Tony. JR wants to know, did we get the player who requested Terror from Beyond last week? Okay, does anyone remember who that was? So someone had requested last week Terror from Beyond. They asked like something like, do you ever run Terror from Beyond? And I was like, I just run whatever I want. If you show up 10 minutes early, jump in. But I unfortunately don't remember who that was. It was really nice of a player named Revan to remind me this morning, the real Revan. That was you, Star Wars EU Vanguard. Are you in the group Star Wars EU Vanguard? Are you in here, Star Wars EU Vanguard? Yes, okay, perfect. So we do have that one spot left for specifically for Janito Tony, and we're going to go over the news and then we're going to roll. Just give me a second or two because we do have some little bit of news. The sale of the day is the Expert Outlaws Armor set for 690 cartel coins. I don't consider this one a particularly amazing set or anything, as always check the GTN, but if it's a set you like, it is on sale. Tomorrow's reset day for Galactic Seasons, PvP Seasons, Conquest, Reputation, and Weekly Quests. We are officially February. Awesome. Janito Tony says, I'm in. Oh, you're in here. Oh, so does that mean we have one more spot? Oh, you're Torin. Oh, we do have one more spot if anyone wants to join. We do have one more spot. Snappa says, I got the Copera Stronghold last season, but didn't get all the room keys. Can they be unlocked anyway now? Yes, they can. I believe so. It's hard for me to test because I already have them unlocked the original way. So as far as I understand, after you have purchased the deed, you can then go pick up the keys to the other parts of the suite from the vendor. And they're not visible when you first buy the Stronghold key. They become visible afterwards. So I'm going to link you this. If you could confirm that this is how it works or deny this is how it works, that would be awesome. For those of you who are in the group, please press the green check mark on the top left. Green check mark, top left. And we'll finish up the news here. Okay, so reset tomorrow. We're coming to the close soon of Galactic Season 7. It ends on February 18th. Finish up any bounties, finish up any last minute Dark versus Light bosses, finish up all of that before Galactic Seasons ends, because it'll be finished in about 2 weeks, give or take. You want to finish it before February 18th, so by February 17th. We do know that the swoop event, is the swoop event happening right now? No, swoop event starts tomorrow, so February actually has some events. The Rackle event will also be running later in the month, starting on February 18th, so right after Galactic Seasons ends. And that is it for events. Let's check the dev tracker. There was some pricing changes on Steam, and I saw someone posted something really interesting. It was like, maybe someone can point me in the right direction, because I thought I saw it over the weekend, but I try not to like spend too much time on the computer on the weekend. I go visit people, friends, and family and stuff. I saw something like someone tracked the changes, but I couldn't look at it on like my phone. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, the changes in the foreign pricing, or did I just dream that? I'm gonna laugh really hard if that didn't actually exist. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, please link me up in Discord, because I'd love to post the actual changes. All right, so it looks like we've got our green checkmark top left. Go ahead and run in. Go on in. Go on in. Yay! There we go. Perfect. Wonderful. Go on in that door there. I'm gonna turn on all my nameplates, and I'm gonna join a voice chat now. If that's what you're dreaming about, you need a longer break. I don't know, man. Sometimes I have the weirdest dreams. I don't think this one was a dream. I think this one actually happened. We had a question. William said, oh, William, it's not a question. Terra from Beyond, how long has it been since I've run that one? The second part is great for healers, as they only have to stand on certain rocks and can reach most, if not all, of the team. Oh, that's nice. I don't really heal very much, so that's fun to hear it from a different perspective. I think there was a question too. Let's see. Oh, homie said, oof, Satil Sean is truly dead. So I super recommend, if you feel that way, to go join a guild, because it's going to make a world of difference for finding out when people are there to play with. Oh, you saw it on Twitter somewhere. Turbo, thanks. That might help me find it, actually. I don't think that's where I would have seen it. Hey, K-Mac, thank you so much for supporting the project. Oh, I'm going to go ahead in the door. Yeah, Dexter and me are just hanging out here, staring into space. And thank you so much. I believe it was Jessa who supported the project as well earlier. Much appreciated for keeping this going. Oh yeah, thanks, Turbo. I will look there, and maybe I'll be able to find it that way. Cool. I should join up in ops chat. So I like to ask this every time. If you guys could answer in ops chat. Oh, Becky, thank you. If you could answer, is this your first time in Terra from Beyond? First time in an ops, or in your class or role? If you could answer in ops chat, in text chat, that would be awesome. I'm gonna jump in voice chat now. Hello, everybody. Hi.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
So we do have some friends replying to, is this your first time? Patrick says, oh, I'm sure they were, leveling as a gunnery, lol. Mara says it's been over a year for Terra from Beyond. I think we did definitely have some people joining who were on the newer side of things. I just pulled without asking questions, so you guys are good luck with that.
Oh, we're used to it.
First time this year on my non-Nexus character, lol. Torin says a bad word, but I don't know which one. Oh, I think it might just be Saturday. Been over a year. Oh, I heard, yeah. Is that Robin? Yes, it is. Of course it is. Medic says, first time as a healer in Terra from Beyond. Oh, that's fun. And you get to deal with this. Shenanigans. Oh, that is so nice of you, Robin. You're just helping healing, right? Training? Ah, it's so sweet.
Needs to practice.
What is the benefit of being in a guild? Oh, hello. Bruna says, I'm new to the game and still learning. I would be that guy standing in the corner looking at everyone confused about what's going on. Hey, Bruna, great question. Oh, that is such a lovely question. I don't think we've had that specific question asked before. Okay, so there is some physical benefits, I guess you could say. You get some bonus XP, you get some bonus reputation, you get to participate in conquests, which you can't do alone the same way. But I would say the same benefit is joining any other organized club. It's not necessarily like joining a friendship group. The benefit of joining a guild, I would say, is most guilds, not all, have some type of organized way of playing together that allows you to meet and play with other people instead of just standing in the corner awkwardly. It's not like a school dance. Oh my god. Oh, thank you, Robin. You let us kill everything. If everyone wants to mount up, we're just going to run our way through. We're not going to stop and fight these upcoming ones. So most guilds have some type of calendar or scheduled events or some type of sign-up system. So that's really beneficial. You wouldn't be standing in the corner because you would have an exact time, date, place, and role. Even if you're new and you don't know what you're doing, they would usually like walk you through it. So for example, we're doing something called operations right now, which are a really fun big group activity that you don't really need to know what you're doing. We've got some people who haven't run this in a long time, or we often have people who have never run before. Okay, this boss, so quick boss, this boss is super easy. We're just gonna go. Yeah, go ahead, Jessa.
3, 2, 1.
In story mode, we don't even like talk about the quote-unquote rules or the mechanics and stuff like that. Some groups will. They'll sit and do a little explanation for you and stuff like that. The second thing is that players are often doing group activities, and even if it's not like a pre-scheduled thing, they're in a guild, they're more likely to ask in a guild first versus just like asking the group finder or asking general chat. So that's always cool. So like if three friends are playing together and they need a fourth, they will often ask in guild. And that coordination can happen both in-game, but also sometimes off the game. For example, most guilds use a program called Discord, and so someone will just like put the call out and be like, "Hey, I'm running a flashpoint. Anybody want to come?" And maybe you're playing, I don't know, you're playing solitaire in your computer, and you're like, "Oh, I'd love to go join that." And you can message them and be like, "Give me a minute to log in," you know. Third is guilds generally offer a sense of community and a good place to ask questions that can be more responsive and potentially less hostile than general chat. So let's say you're new to crafting and you're like, I can't figure out which crafting skill I want to pick. Does anyone have any advice? Like that's like a kind of question that would be great to ask in a guild because you can get different opinions and stuff like that, you know? And because you can use that secondary program like Discord, even people can chime in who aren't necessarily online, which is awesome. Like a lot of our guildmates love sharing about the game, but they're like at work or like, you know. So I hope that Bruna kind of helped you answer that question. So even if you're just so new at the point where you're still learning the buttons, which is very acceptable, like it can be very hard to learn how to move around in a video game when you're new to it. I struggle with that a lot when I'm learning a new game. I'm like running into corners and, you know. Even if you're not even directly playing with anybody because you're not quite ready for that, being in a guild is, like I said, a great place to ask questions or just kind of like chit chat here and there on the side. If you did want to try out any group activity, flashpoints are something you can do as low as level 15. And in a guild, it's not going to be a universal sentiment, but in general, because there is a shared sense of social responsibility, if someone's a butthole in general, in like the group finder or just some random person you find on the streets of Dromenkos, you know, it's akin to playing with someone you found off the streets in Los Angeles. You're like probably never gonna see them again. If they're rude to you, no one's gonna punish them. No one's gonna be like, oh, that jerk Jerry from the streets of Los Angeles, yeah, we're not inviting him to the cool people tea party next Friday because he was a butthole to Bruna, you know. But in a guild, there's a general sense of responsibility to be nice to other people, and also there's more motivation to be nice to people on the opposite end of things. You're more motivated to be like go above and beyond for other people because you know you're gonna see them tomorrow. You know, you're like, oh, I'd love to help Bruna because Bruna's my guildmate. Bruna's my buddy. Bruna's not gonna walk away on the streets of Los Angeles and I never see them again, you know? So that's why I really, really recommend people join guilds. Okay, so now that I've blah, 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 that's so much. Oh, Bruna says, thank you so much. That makes sense. I came across your videos on YouTube, the one you did for tips for beginners, and someone told me you're on Twitch when I was telling them about the video. Oh, that's so sweet. Hi, live and in person. I know I'm not quite as eloquent live, but I'm more excited. Because I don't have to use my YouTube voice. Okay, and so, Bruna, with all that said, so I'm a big advocate for joining a guild. We also built a tool. You don't have to use it right now. What I recommend is to open the link and just bookmark it for later. Yes, I also say more bad words live. I was gonna say I'm sorry, but I'm not really. Sorry. I am sorry about that. I forgot I was in voice with you guys and y'all started laughing. I was like, oh my god. Let me finish my spiel about guilds, sorry. If you forget to bookmark it or forget how to find the bookmark later, literally just Google SWTOR Guild Finder. And the way it works is you can search by your server. You can search by your faction if maybe you only have one character so far. And yeah, let's get Steve. Avo, yes. And this is Steve, by the way. Intezar's guild named him. Oh yeah. And then you can sort by what activities you might be interested in. I'm not an adult. I'm a 43-year-old with kids. That was in response to we're all adults here. But yeah. Oh, you already have your website say. So this is a different one. This is SWTORfancommunity.com/guilds. It's like a separate site because it doesn't have advertising. It's part of a community project that we built. It's very, very much community gift oriented. But yeah, good luck. And we're here every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Pacific, so if you run into any problems, and especially if you're not in a guild yet, feel free to swing by. I love answering them. Okay, I've done it. That was my finish of my guild spiel. Good morning, you guys in voice chat.
Good morning. Hello.
We did have some questions over on Twitch. Turbo was helping me kind of try and remember where that link that I was looking for was. Said, I do have the Reddit, SWTOR, and Twitter too, so I might find it there too. I feel like I thought I saw it on Reddit, but I did a quick look through of the newest post and I couldn't find it, but it might have been all the way from as far back as like Thursday or Friday, whenever they did that most recent pricing change thing. Turbo says, I played the game for 10 years and never done an operation. I need to get with the group one day to do some. Oh my gosh, Turbo. Right, isn't it interesting how we all kind of experience the game differently? Clearly you're the type of player who likes to like look and read about the game on social media. So beyond even just being in the game, and that yet you've never tried one of the big group activities. That's so fun. I love that this game has so much different stuff you can do and appeals to like so many different play styles. Ah! Including being flung across the room. That's a play style, right?
Yep.
Yeah, favorite. This isn't World of Warcraft. It came from the WoW stream. Wait, Sunjammer. Oh, you're being silly. I got it. I was like, did I forget to change the category? Did I forget to change the category? Oh, you're just full of baloney. I got it. Okay, we're good. Solid. Carry on. Oh, for those of you, yes, for those of you who are new to this operation on this character, there is a lore object you can go click. Off on the side of the road there. Volo says, never run the new ops. Oh, you've never ran the new ops. I only saw your second message first. And I thought you were saying like a statement, like never run them. Advice is don't do it, you know? But Bolo said, same, been there on and off since the start, and I always return for the story updates. Got it. Yeah, so the newer operations, like, to me, they're worth checking out if you can find a nice group to run them with. I think that's the key point for me for operations. There's not worth seeing just to see with a like a rude group, you know. Always 500% worth it if you can find a nice group to try and with. Can Imperials and Republic play together? Asks Will over on YouTube. Great question. No. I'm so sorry.
Exception.
Exception?
PvP.
That's not rating. Man, they can play together. Yes, this is rating, but no, they are, in general, Republic and Imperial are quite separate. Okay, so we're going to give a quick explanation of this one. We're all going to start on High Red. He's in the middle there. We're all going to attack him first. He's got a target over his head. Jessa, you're going to be on Cyphus, yeah? And I'll be on Kelsara?
Sure.
Other than that, do your best to stay out of any green puddles. And at the end, if Kelsara has a green beam attached to you, run away and cry. Yeah, yes, you can PvP quote unquote together and kill each other. All right, we're good to go. Go ahead and give us a count, Jessa, and then go.
3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, all on High Red in the middle. Thank you, Stitch. Thank you very much. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Appreciate it. I got my Azeron, says Dawnwalker, and I have gone from 18,000 DPS on my NG Sniper to 32k. Oh, that's the little side pad. Wow, so that's really, really, really working out for you in terms of how you can use it, isn't it? That's awesome. I'm really glad to hear that. What are you finding is the part that's making the biggest difference for you being able to press your rotation correctly? Or, well... Deezer says, is Saturday a bad word just like die? Wait, is die a bad word? No, it is not. Okay. Saturday has the word poop in it, apparently, and it comes up in the swear filters in SWTOR, which is honestly really funny.
That is okay.
Can't you make us... Yeah, I know. Listen, no, you can't say turd in SWTOR. That would be... I just ran through a big green circle. Sorry about that. That was all me. Stop putting Saturday in chat. I can't see it. All I see are stars. Sunjammer says my rotation is just one. Perfect. Well done. Dark Dispel says, can't you make a Sith job on Republic side nowadays? Does that count? LOL. Yes, you can. I like that you use the word job. That's funny. From a different game. Yes, you can make a Jedi Knight who has the Sorcerer or Marauder combat style, right? That's fun. You're still not an Imperial, though. You're just a Jedi with dark powers because you're a little evil poo-poo. Saturday. Yeah, Final Fantasy 14 brain, exactly. Oh, Deezer says they were joking about die being a bad word. They were remembering the time that I banned you guys from making die memes. That was like months ago. I can't believe you remember that. That was horrible. Why would you remind everyone about how I was dying that day from you guys and all your puns? Nice job. Everybody go ahead and right click that boss to get your loot. Nice job. Someone remind me to spend some tech frags after we're all done this ops. And thank you so much. It's Real Revan. I don't know if you're here today, but Real Revan remembered from a week ago that our friend EU Vanguard wanted to run Terror from Beyond, so we were able to get that rolling instead of me just forgetting about it. Very, very kind. Very thoughtful. Oh, so Don Walker is talking about they got... I'm going to show a picture of the Azeron so you guys know what the heck we're talking about. Azeron sounds like a character name. I thought that's what you were talking about at first. Oh, okay. Yes, here we go. It's the funky one. Really funky but interesting one. I think Silent, you have either... I don't know if you're in voice chat today? No, okay, perfect. So, but you are in text chat. Do you have one of these or you were going to try one of these? I can't remember which it was. I know you've tried a whole bunch of different and interesting side peripherals, I think would be the word. Silent says, yes, I have one. Is it one of the ones you're actively using right now? So Don Walker over in YouTube says that they just got one as well. They were looking forward to it. They ordered it. It's basically, it's an accessibility tool, but can be useful to anybody. And the idea is that you put your hand in the scary little handhole and it gives you multiple buttons all over your mouse. Basically, it's kind of like a gaming mouse with buttons on the side, but a different configuration, and requires less movement of the hand and the fingers. So that's why it's an accessibility tool, but it can also be really really cool and interesting tool for anyone who just likes the idea of having better options than just, you know, mouse and keyboard. So what's nice is, I believe the way it works is you can also, so you've got click with your fingers, there's the clicks at the top, and you can also go like this, I think, and like nudge with your knuckles, I believe, and there's also a little joystick right here too. You can watch some videos online if anyone's actually more curious about how the specifics work. So Don Walker said, having 32 abilities, being extremely close, helps a lot for the Azeron, and able to make one button activate both adrenal and targeting system with one click, or other skills I need to weave. Don Walker, be aware, be aware, be aware. It's really important. For SWTOR, you are not allowed to keybind 2 abilities to the same button press, even if you're using an accessibility device. Just as a heads up, it's against the game's terms of service. It's not against my terms of service, just so you know. Don't. So you're aware.
Terms of service from 1843. No macros.
Yes, no, you can do macros. They just have to be 1-to-1 keybinds, which means basically no macros. Yeah. And that applies, for anyone curious, that applies to anything related to combat, anything related to using, say, items in any way, basically giving you an advantage that another player wouldn't have without that. You can, however, as far as I understand, use it for cosmetic things that don't give you an advantage over other players. For example, if you wanted to keybind the entire script of the B movie, so you can post it in general chat with one click. As far as I can tell, that's not against the game's terms of service. Just don't spam it too often. Only when it's most needed. Yes, it is very expensive. It's very, very unique, and obviously they had to put a lot into R&D and production and stuff like that. So it is very expensive. It would help with something like carpal tunnel, I can assume, and that's, like I said, it's an accessibility thing. Any type of disability where moving your hand is difficult, that's where it would be beneficial.
Jessa, you got the lightsaber crystal.
Ooh! Yeah, what color is that? Oh, black, purple, hell yeah. Oh, can someone lick a lightsaber? I only have a pew pew. But I want to show people your cool crystal. We are going to be attacking the boxes, the data cores. If you could, try not to stand in the lightning that's going off its corners. Thank you to both of you. Okay, so here's that black purple crystal. That's cool. It's not necessarily exclusive to this operation in that you could always just buy it on the GTN, but it's really cool. It's probably kind of expensive too. Can keybind changing loadout? Urza, sadly no. You cannot have your key bindings change with your loadout, which is a big bummer. What I do is I just try to put everything on the same numbers keybinds that I'd want them to be in. And that mostly works. Like if I have my interrupt, I always put it wherever the E is on my layout and stuff like that. Hey Steph, nice to see you. Steph says, I'm still playing SWTOR, but recently gone to Sims 4. Oh my gosh, that's so fun. And I've got a great prog team that's focusing on Nightmare Mode Dread Palace. Oh, Steph, that's so cool. Hi. Nice to see you. G says, hi, hello, been interviewing for a new announcing gig. Hope you're doing well. Oh, good luck. Fingers crossed. Hope that goes well for you. That's awesome. Is it, are we allowed to ask what type of announcing? Is it sports or like...
Monster truck rallies.
Monster truck. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, colors. Okay. Let's make sure tanks are set up correctly. No, they're not. Hang on. Sorry. Hang on. I'm getting there. Okay. So, it will be blue. Team will be Medic, Pat, Sejan, and Silent. Orange team will be Jessa, Data, Bomber, Torin. Purple team will be Nessa, Adexer. Thanks for reminding me to do colors. Helena, Goro. Yellow team will be Saya, that's me. Daisha, Mara, Alusair. And it looks like everybody was able to get into their colors. That's a great first step. The people clicking are going to be Medic, Jessa, Nessa, and me for our respective colors. And the people standing in the center are going to be Patrick, DDR, who I'm pretty sure is JR, Adexir, you've got something to learn today, and Daisha. I don't know if you've done this before, but you're going to have fun learning. Daisha and Adexer, if you don't know how to do the standing in the center roll, please let me know and I'm going to walk you through it. Patrick says, yay, I'm dead weight. Perfect.
Stand.
Yeah. Well, at the right time. At the right time. It's important. Dexter says, yay, I know how to stand in the center, and Daisha says I've done it. Awesome, perfect, wonderful. So for everyone else, especially anyone who's new, there is some actual mechanics in this one, versus we can't just wail on the boss or nothing's gonna happen. So we're going to be doing some stuff in the center with our specific players who've been called out, and the rest of everybody else are going to be looking around the room for these data cores. They have an orange shield around them right now, but 2 of them will lose their shield, and those are the ones we're gonna be attacking. Other than that, are we like stuck in combat somehow? What happened? Did I get too close to a data core? I think I did.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I was like, I'm gonna go stand beside it to show it. That was a bad choice. Have a good one, Bolos. And have a good one, Valen. Nice to see you guys. Have fun. Alright, so we are waiting for blue team to go do their thing. So we're gonna have Medic clicking and Patrick in the center. Nice. We are now looking for a data core without a shield. There's going to be 2 of them. Go attack any of them. Mr. Swtorista brought me some hot chocolate. I need to actually drink it. Oh, Don Walker says no, it's only 250. Oh, okay. That's a hell of a lot cheaper than $1,300.
Clicking.
Thank you. We've got 2 more shields down if you want to look around for a data core.
They unshield and then clockwise manner.
Okay, so it's about $250. So it's much more affordable. I was like, I don't remember it being $1,300, but I can't check this right now. We're heading to the other side and killing that other data core if you're not already there. A bit random, says Joseph. I'm a fairly new player, but I was standing by the GTN and someone gave me a whole outfit and dye mod for free. Oh, that's so sweet. Is that normal? Do I owe them something? No, if they just literally gave it to you. They were just probably feeling generous today. Who do we have in purple? Nessa's clicking? Yeah, we're good. Okay. Go find that data core. No, it's pretty common actually that players who have a lot of credits or are just trying to clear out their stash, it's fairly common for them to just find players who maybe look new. They might have some type of criteria in their back of their head on how to figure that out. We're going to that data core again. And trade them and give it to them. That was very sweet of them. Enjoy. Bask in the kindness of strangers. And if you want to pass it on, be nice to somebody in game. That's all you really need. We have, oh, I'm yellow team. Oh my god. I'm clicking, I'm going. I've done it. Go get the cores. I was busy basking in the kindness of strangers. What can I say? Yeah, welcome to the game. Yeah, it's just so sweet.
I do like how you made the point, though. It's like, be nice to someone else in game. Not in real life. Screw those people.
No, because it's a closed economy of kindness, okay? Kindness isn't infinite. You can't share it with those losers like Jerry from Los Angeles. Okay, so the next mechanic is go find a color circle that matches you and stand on it.
Orange.
Go orange team, yay! Oh. Oh, I like watching all of the orange at once, right? Perfect, great job. Terrace on kindness, oh my god. So Teresa says, Life Dancing says, WoW has a druid that is a jack of all trades. Does SWTOR have such a character? Is a druid actually a jack of all trades?
They have the balance druid, the moon druidy balancing thing, yeah.
Is that a tank healer DPS kind of thing or something else?
Well, druid is in general. Sorry, the feral can't do healing straight, but they obviously switch to the other specs. So druid can do everything.
Is that different than, say, like having Vanguard and Commando and being able to switch from tank healer DPS?
Well, it requires a second class, but yeah.
Oh, okay. So
It's similar, yeah. With dual specs, you can.
Okay, cool. So I think I understand the question now. So I've started playing World of Warcraft. I have not played a druid, and I still have a lot of questions. Nice job, you guys, with the colors. So there is no singular combat style that has tank, healer, DPS all together. There is none that do that. However, what's really cool about this game is you can add a second class to your character. They are not combined. Oh, nice job. Go ahead and right click. But it's very easy to swap between them. So right now I'm playing the Vanguard class. I am playing a tank. I could always swap over to a damage, but with the most recent expansion, I could also swap to the operative combat style class, which has the ability to heal and 2 more types of DPS. So yeah, in general, you can't by default, but you absolutely can do that, including if you wanted to do a ranged and melee, you could vary that out as well. I actually don't have range on this character, but I do have stealth, which is awesome. Hopefully that was a useful answer. Thanks for clarifying what that meant in voice chat. Hagosaurus Rex says, thanks for such an informative overview. It's made me want to play this again. Hey, absolutely, Hagosaurus Rex. Welcome to the game, or welcome back to the game if you jump back in. And we're here every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Pacific on the weekdays. So if you have any questions, feel free to swing by. What are your pants on Saya today? Step, oh my god. I thought you meant what pants am I wearing today, and I was about to tell you all about them. Because there's a story attached to my pants. These pants are actually Team Disco pants. I shouldn't be wearing them today. They are the Dashing Rogue, I think it's called. With a pink and white dye from Intizar. Straight from my friend. Yeah, Sage and Shadow / Sorcerer and Assassin would be a great combo Jedi Revenite for that that concept there of having all quote-unquote 4 types of combat styles.
And that also gives you melee and range classes.
Yeah, exactly. Dawnwalker says, Dawnwalker does want to point out that you do need to get to chapter 3 of any of the stories before you can unlock that second combat style. But I'm guessing if you're a returning player, there's a good chance you've already done that, or you're on a good path to do that fairly soon, you know? Life Dancing says, okay, cool, thank you. Yeah, awesome. And stealth, yeah, that's the real important multi-classing right there is stealth. Oh, right, there's a cutscene coming up. Feel free to right-click the door and watch the cutscene if you want. You don't have to spacebar through it if you don't want to. Oh, Cajun actually has been getting their 16-person achievements. That's cool.
Oh, never, ever, ever.
Yeah, I wish they did something else with this guy.
No.
Seems interesting.
Yeah, they're goofy. Angry Kevas.
Wait a minute, is this the Mutant Trandoshans Squad?
No, there's only one mutant Trandoshan, so no squad.
This is pointing.
How do I tell if someone's still in a cutscene or not? I don't think anyone is. They would have a little ... comment bubble on their buffs, right? Okay, cool. Looks like we're ready. Go ahead and give us a count, Jessa, and just go ahead. This boss technically has mechanics. But we ignore all of them, because in story mode, it's literally faster to completely ignore them and just, you know... Oh, I'm sorry, Jessa, I did not taunt him. I was just kind of running around in circles. Hey, don't listen to my hot chocolate. Mmm. Do you like my mug? Oh, it's backwards. It says can't touch this and has a cactus on it. Okay, so Robin, was that you who mentioned the Trandoshan squad? It made me think of, obviously, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I had a dream the other night about my tortoise. My dream the other night, I dreamt that we had not only Shelly, but also a baby tortoise, too. Like one of the little itty-bitty ones, Bibi. And I had a dream that we had forgotten we'd already bought a medium-sized tortoise and a tiny tortoise. So I opened one of the drawers of where we keep our clothes, and inside there was 2 hibernating tortoises, one baby one and one medium-sized one, and they were all crusty because they'd just been sitting there for a long time, but they were all alive. So I needed to like rehydrate them. But then we had 4 tortoises, and I was very happy. The end. Don't forget your tortoises in drawers, people. Bad husbandry.
Fair.
Yep.
What's the cyborg? Dawn Walker? Let me see. Cyborg peripheral? Or are you talking about the Azeron? Oh, the Azeron is a cyborg. So Dawn Walker says, so when I play my healer, I'm usually using both my Razor Naga for the mouse. Right, because you have to click on the people's names, which is unfortunate. The cyborg for DPS skills and main movement, then my Naga for healer skills when I place my healing classes. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's unfortunate that you can't like fully play this game without a mouse, because you can't. You have to still click these. There's no other way to get around that for healing. I never thought about that. That it's kind of a... Anyone with an accessibility issue is going to have especially a hard of time healing than either other role. Hey, Silent, out of curiosity, have you ever done healing, or did you run into that kind of issue? I know you mostly DPS and you're good at it, so you might as well just stick to that, you know? Nice job, everybody! Go ahead and stand in the lava. It's good for you.
Actually, you can keybind like a next friendly player.
Right, but in a 16-man, that's gonna take a while to cycle through, right? I guess you could, yeah. I guess if you're fast enough, it would be fine. It would just be a little aggravating. And there is a cutscene here. If you want to watch it, feel free. Dawn Walker says they did order a new mouse from Azeron. It's called the Azeron Kyra. Azeron Kyra. Take a quick look at that. Oh, it's in pre-order. Oh, it's a one-handed mouse. Is it this one? Yeah, that's pretty cool too. That looks really neat. Really, really cool. I love that these type of things exist and that there's like enough of a market for them to make it work. Super cool. Will you ever do another fashion show? Yes, probably next week. I don't have a date yet. Basically, we need to announce the finish of the armor website, but it's not quite done yet. Okay, cool, awesome. We are all gonna attack a tentacle that shows up on the left. This whole thing gets really chaotic, and if you could stand behind the tentacle, that'd be great. I have a request for those of you who are familiar with this operation already. Can you try not worrying about football? Like, not worry about trying to run away from them. Maybe even potentially run into them. Like, hug the babies.
Okay.
I would like to see if that is, like, a problem in story mode operations or not. Because it absolutely is in veteran mode or master mode, but... you know? Okay. Hug the babies.
Who's taking second tentacle?
Oh, I guess I should. I'm sorry. Oh, I guess it's Jessa. Jessa's got it. Thank you so much, Jessa.
Yeah. Well, I'll be over here by
Oh.
myself.
Helena is physically here, but Helena didn't say yes to the ready check. I hope it's okay if I just go anyway. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. So we're all gonna attack this tentacle over on the left side. Do you have a birthday stream planned out? Oh my god. I was kind of hoping to just ignore my birthday this year. No, I lied. I want to have a tie-dye party in real life. I decided that's what I want. In SWTOR, no. I need to get my butt going. I need to go through all my bays because I've been hoarding items for my birthday, but I don't remember what I got. Okay, go hug a baby. Go hug a birth larva. Okay, so DDR has died. That's awesome. I took 8% damage as a tank. Wait, what killed JR though?
Took like 1%.
JR, did you pull a prank on us? I ran into a baby, then it launched me into terror. Oh!
Nice.
Okay, so lesson learned. Maybe don't hug the baby, but you don't need to worry about the babies. Oh gosh, that's really funny. Because it kind of like... Oh goodness. Anyways, we're back on tentacles. Yeah, don't worry about those babies. They ain't doing no harm to nobody. We don't need to bother explaining them. I would like to see the baby. Deezer says, I don't know if I heard it correctly, but for me it sounded like a dye party. Am I hallucinating? Oh my gosh, I've broken my own rule. Yes, tie-dye party in real life. Okay, we're going to the next part of the fight. We are all gonna take the portal to the left. It is strange and confusing, but I believe in you. Portal to the left. Jessa's gonna take the one to the right. Portal to the left, and we're going to go through portals until we get to the tentacle on the left. And if you don't know where you are, just find a tentacles platform. You're gonna go stand on the platform with the tentacle. You cannot hurt it if you are on a different platform. For example, you're shooting it from far away. You have to be on the same platform. Nice job. We have killed that tentacle. We're gonna go through some portals until we get to the other tentacle on the other side. If you're lost, scared, and confused, don't worry. Just do your best and go through the tunnels as if you're in Chuck E. Cheese or McDonald's like a little child back in the 90s until you find the tentacle. Oh, nice job. Okay, everyone's gonna look around for a sparkly thing. Find a sparkly enemy. Go onto the same platform as it and kill it. It doesn't matter which one, they all need to die. So look around, and once you've murdered one, go find another sparkly thing and kill that too. Cordog in Twitch says, just getting back into SWTOR after a 10-year break. Oh my gosh, you probably played near the launch of the game then. Only level 67, so I got some story leveling to do. Wow, welcome back to the game. Hi. We're here every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Pacific, so if you wind up with any returning player questions, feel free to swing them in here. Okay, we are going to head to the back of the room. I know that's confusing, but there is some tentacles back there. Jump through the portals until you find a tentacle and go on the same platform. Same platform as the tentacle. Don't attack from far away because that will literally do nothing. This fight seems very similar to a raid boss in WoW. Oh, which one? I've been playing World of Warcraft, but I haven't played very many. Actually, I played quite a few raids yet, but I don't remember 90% of them. The tentacles have a cross-platform incompatibility issue. Yes. Dawn says the new mouse is coming out sometime in February. The pre-ordered one from Azeron. And carpal tunnel is not fun, so I'm glad this company is around. Right, we have quite a few friends who have carpal tunnel. Jessa, am I remembering right that you have carpal tunnel or something similar? Arthritis, right.
I got it. I got it when I was a child, so my hands are not in the greatest of shape.
Right, your hands are forked. And Jessa also uses something besides a standard mouse. You use the mouse with all the buttons in the side, right?
No, I don't. I found that hard to use. I just used a standard mouse. It was trying to find a mouse that would fit my hand.
Right, yeah.
Comfortably, that's what I was running into.
Right.
Some of the ones that have all the buttons on it,
They're too big.
They're too big. They don't fit right in my hand, and I find it hard for my fingers to use the buttons. So I am a clicker. My husband makes fun of me because I click everything.
Your husband makes fun of you. Tell him to shove it up his butt. Not your mouse. Not your mouse, though. Don't tell him to shove that up his butt. Just his opinions. But yeah, we actually had when we were writing the accessibility guides, we found out that we have a ton of players. Some that we've met, some that are from here, and many that we haven't met who play with like various pain issues or disabilities. So super neat to hear about what everyone uses, because it is actually super useful information for me too, because I, like Jessa, I would benefit from a mouse with multiple buttons because I'm a clicker, but they're too big for me. So I was able to find a teeny tiny mouse with 2 buttons on the side. That works good for me. Deathwing from Cataclysm. Got it. Okay, I'll tell my 2 friends that I play with to take me to go fight Deathwing from Cataclysm. Good job, everybody! Don't forget to right-click that big sparkly thing to go get your rewards. Thank you so much for coming. That was such a ridiculously smooth and fun and silly run. So thanks, as always, for coming along. And for some of you for trying classes that you don't normally get to play and stuff like that. I'm gonna hop on a voice chat. Do you guys want to say bye before I do?
Bye.
Bye.
A clicker? Ew! Bye. That's super fun. So that was Monday morning operations, and that's something we actually do every Monday morning, and we especially make place for people who don't get to run operations often, or who, especially if it's their first operation. So and you can almost guarantee yourself a spot as long as you come like 10 minutes early, and that way you can get an invitation to the group. But even if you come near the end of us forming up, many of our volunteers are really nice and are willing to step out and let others step in. Like, for example, I think JR earlier was saying, like, I'm willing to step out if there was someone, if we didn't get that one player in who was trying to run this specific operation because they hadn't seen it before. So there you go, EU Vanguard. That was Terror from Beyond. How was it? Did you like fighting the big Wrigley at the end? Yeah, clicker for life, absolutely. And if you want to sign up for information, pings about Monday morning operations, I'm so sorry. I've been having a lot of trouble with, not necessarily with sleeping, but waking up. I've been waking up very sick most mornings the last like couple of months. So I keep forgetting to put out the notifications, but it's literally every Monday. And you can find way more information in that ops as well. Remember to go spend some tech fragments. Yes, I should. Thank you so much. Let's go do that right now. Let's go do that right now. I'm in a very good mood. Thank you. Star Wars EU Vanguard said, very fun. The giant squid was the best. Yeehaw! Step says, I finally got a gaming mouse. It took a little bit of time to get used to it, but I started with using one of the side buttons and always learning that button instead of trying to learn everything at once. You know what? That's a really good idea. I was trying out the Razer Naga. It didn't end up being a good fit for me, but separately, it ended up being very overwhelming too. But that one I felt like I could have powered through. But you're right, it would have been smart to just try using one button at a time instead of all 9 keybound at once, because I was like, oh my god. Will Vanguard, Guardian, or Shadow make me die less in operations? Asked Urza. Urza! Are you dying a lot in operations? That's your first question right there. So the things that will make you die less in operations are: number 1, staying out of bad stuff that you're not supposed to be standing in. Number 2, making sure you have the correct gear on. Number 3, whatever class you're playing, becoming familiar with which of your abilities are defensive abilities. So, you know, a shield or a self-heal. And fourth is, I don't know, bribe your healers? Send them cookies and make sure they know you kind of suck at the video game so that they give you healing priority. I heard healers like $100 tips. I heard that. I don't know if it's true. But no, in general, not joking, but your combat style doesn't really affect how much you die. So technically, the Vanguard, Guardian, and Shadow, the reason I think those came up, if you maybe saw them somewhere, those are the ones that have the ability to tank. I will say, if you're playing solo content, being a tank can help you die less often if you're really struggling. For example, I struggle with paying attention, and when I'm playing a tank, I'm less likely to die because as a tank with a healer companion, you're basically unkillable. You're not going to kill things very fast. You're going to be very slow at defeating enemies, but you've got like just everything defensive and health-wise out the wazoo. However, with that said, in operations, it is a different story. The tank is actually the most likely to kill themselves by accident. So if you're having trouble staying out of the bad stuff and paying attention to mechanics, then tank is not gonna make that better. It's gonna make things worse. Geeky says, in World of Warcraft, my guild leader got me a laptop and a Razer Kitty Ear headset to bribe me for heals. Oh my gosh, that's a generous bribe gift right there. That's funny. Sunjammer says, will heal for dollars. Star Wars EU Vanguard says, people pay healers 15 million these days. Okay, well, you guys are talking about something different. You guys are talking about bribing someone to heal for your group, not to heal you specifically. That is a different issue. And most healers are probably gonna say, get good, scrub. JK, I heal everyone evenly. Actually, some healers will say, I don't heal if you stand in stupid. I was more wondering which of those classes are more survivable in melee as DPS. In the end, it's not standing in the bad stuff, which is class independent, and using your defensives when you know what they are. Robin says Shadow DPS can be quite squishy versus Guardian DPS, which is a little less squishy. So in story mode operations, you honestly, once you get a handle of not standing in the bad stuff and using your defensive when something bad does happen, you really shouldn't be dying at all. I think one person died in the entire operation we just ran, and that was JR, because I told them to do something stupid and something especially stupid happened. Like, I don't even think anyone went below 50% health the entire time, to be super honest. Wait, Phantom says, wait, I can charge for healing? I'll even discount my rate since I'm decidedly mid. I aspire to be mid. I languish in mid. So we've got some nice comments over on the YouTube side of things. I got the dumb sometimes, says Sir Joseph. I just misclick constantly. Oh, me too. Absolutely. I'm not necessarily a good player. Oh, cool. So John Walker says, I got a couple of characters. I usually play with Sniper or Marauder, so you're mostly Imperial side of things, right? Hey, allô, H10, SWTOR, la meilleure streamer de SWTOR. Absolument, si. Oh, merci beaucoup, Hash. Merci. That's so sweet. Hash said, is SWTORista the best streamer in SWTOR? Absolutely, yes. Oh. Où est-ce que vous êtes dans Europe? What would it be in French? Europe? Ou est-ce que vous êtes dans Canada? Deezer says, as a healer, I won't heal you if you just stand in AoE stuff, except if you're a new player or returning player, because they need to get back into the game. Right, most healers don't actually not heal through stupid. They try their best. It's just in sticky situations. If you're the one always standing in the bad stuff, you know. French Tourista, don't call me that. I love it. Oh my gosh, can I be French Tourista from now on? Oh, we have LV in here talking about another accessibility peripheral that they're using. So LV says, I use a vertical mouse because I hurt my wrist and ulnar nerve through a combination of doing math. Oh my god, from my BA degree, like math and gaming, which led me to wearing a wrist brace for a year to fully recover. No carpal tunnel, just a very sensitive wrist. I think that was one of the vertical mouse was one of the ones that came up when we were researching. Let's just pull this out real fast. They are weird. They are super weird, but they are once again a completely different shape, so it can be super useful if that fits a lot better. By the way, we do have Swtorista.com/accessibility. I can't spell. I missed the S in there. Give me a second. Oh, apparently it can't be all caps. Accessibility. Frickin' A. Just get to it by Google. It's easier. But we have a guide called One-Handed Gaming, playing with one hand or limited mobility, which is actually what the 4 people we were kind of chatting with today, who said they're different things that they are dealing with, and then what kind of peripherals they are using to overcome it. So let's see, one-handed here. Okay, so here's just talking about settings and stuff like that, and then here's the options that you can use. Controller is the most common for one-handed gaming, just because it's like a lot of people already have one to start with. Here's some other specific ones that you can go out and buy. A gaming mouse with the buttons on this. Oh god, I just scared myself, sorry. Buttons on the side, but like our friend Jessica said, this doesn't necessarily work for her, and it actually doesn't work very well for me because I have little bitty hands. I would drop cash money though if they put out a tiny Razer Nogger. They used to make them. They used to make something similar. Like this is the Razer. Fuck, I forgot which kind it was. Oh, Viper, but the mini. But they don't even make these anymore. Hi, says McBaldy. Hi, Swtorista. Big thanks for all your hard work and guides that you provide. Have found them very useful in my return to SWTOR. Hey, welcome back to the game. Question: with the hide and seek method and the earpiece trick, once you get the blue earpiece, can you equip it and run Red Reaper repeatedly for a purple to drop? You wouldn't even have to run it. Oh, I see. Are you asking if you get a 340 blue earpiece and you put it in your earball, could you run hide and seek, or could you run Red Reaper and hope to get a 340 purple? Yeah, you could. I don't see why not. I think I recommended how to do that in the solo guides. I can't remember how much in depth each of the guides go. Oh no, we don't need solo story order guide. That's a whole different that's a whole different thing. Get relics and earpiece. Getting your earpiece and relics as a solo player is a bit funky. If you want, you can shoot for blue Supreme Decurion pieces, just like we did before when getting our single blue piece, either doing Veteran Mode, Red Reaper, Solo Stealth, or Heroics, Dailies, or Conquest. But the cost for getting a purple is roughly the same, so you might as well purchase and upgrade a purple Ricotta one instead. If you'd like to be done or sick of gear, you can go instead and grab a green bordered one. Yeah, I don't see why. It's kind of up to you, honestly. Oh yeah, purple doesn't drop in flashpoints. That's right. That's right. Only in master mode. Only in master mode, Red Reaper, which is, I assumed, sorry, what you were talking about. So yeah, you have 2 options. You could just run it. You have a vaguely 1 in 14 chance of getting an earpiece though. And it is random. So it kind of sucks. I would personally focus on getting currencies and buying the purple earpiece and upgrading it, just because then you don't have to. One, you're probably freaking sick of Red Reaper by now. Second, if you get a chance to run operations, that's something like Nightmare Mode Nifra would be a great way to do that too. But yeah, you could just get lucky, of course, on your first run on your first boss, you know. Silent says, I'm starting to look into using voice to text to see if one can vocalize commands in the game. Right! That was something we were kind of looking into too when we were researching this. So yeah, I hope so. I hope that was kind of a useful answer to you. Just honestly, at that point, it's like you might as well just save up currency doing whatever activity you actually like and then just upgrade it guaranteed. Bo Wolf, thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Misho says, how many hours do you have? Okay, so unfortunately, there's no way to check how many hours I have played the game. On this character alone, I have played 290 days, 1 hour and 48 minutes. Oh my god. To be clear though, a lot of the time is just I log into my character and tab out, and always have done that. So some of the other options are, we've got that mouse with the buttons on the side. The most well-known is the Razer Naga, and the most recommended one, it's about $100. If you are gaming MMOs regularly. Quite a few people recommend this. I personally never recommend dropping like $100 on a peripheral unless you find it's going to greatly give you more enjoyment, you know? You can see how much Steam playtime one has, right? But I was playing way before Steam, so I don't have a good way. This is actually something that got brought up earlier from Don Walker. This is the Azeron Cairo, and it's the kind of vertical mouse with buttons on the side. There's the Logitech G600, which is an older one, and has buttons on the side as well. Another really popular option is a game pad. It's kind of like a numpad, but it has the buttons just ready to go right there for your hand, and also often has a joystick on the side. So there's also the Cyborg, the little hand one that we saw earlier, that you can use. And oh, you can even get them custom made, left hand and right hand versions. Cool, cool, cool. I think this is actually possibly one of the older versions, and they have an updated one. Another option is you can buy just a joystick only, like alone by itself. Some players use that as well. And foot pedal, totally an option. There's multiple ones out there. Steam Deck is something you could use to just make your life easier in general, but it's not necessarily a controller. We have a friend who uses typing aids, which are they're sometimes called typing crutches, that help if you don't have a lot of finger movement, but you've got full use of your arms or hands. You can use these to like bang it out on the keyboard. Yeah. Super cheap option there. Right, and Voice Attack is a voice activated controller for your computer. It's a whole $10 and has a free trial. Is that what you're using, Silent? Are you trying that or something else to poke around? And yeah, so this is part of the accessibility guide, which is just a super cool. It was a huge project that we worked on with a lot of other players. Silent says that version you need access to a 3D printer to get above the knuckle switches. Right, I think that was an older one. Then there's the newer one available now. Woohoo! Gamepad looks way better for me since I can't press buttons on the thumb side. Right, exactly. Like, so there's a lot of options out there, and we did our best to like showcase every one, especially because most of them are something that a SWTOR player actually uses and like recommended. Technically, you could log into all of your characters and do /played, assuming that you haven't deleted any characters, but that's also very tedious. Oh my god, that sounds miserable. Can I not do that? I have other things to do with my life.
Traveling in convoys is strongly encouraged.
D-Sir says, I asked that once before, but I wasn't answered. Oh, that's so sad. Apparently I hate you. That's all there is to it, apparently. I'm trying to get to the supply section, but I keep getting distracted. JR says, there was a question about... What? JR says, I've heard that you can get a purple OSIN equipment, put the hide and seek 340 mods in it, and I heard that piece stays purple and counts for the hide and seek purple quest. I haven't tried this out though. That seems sketch. Not that it's necessarily hard to get a purple piece, so I wouldn't be like, oh, shame, exploiter. Definitely not how it's supposed to work though, but it kind of would make sense that it would function. I don't think I'm gonna go around recommending that one. Against the terms of service. I've only managed to do flashpoints. My gear is so bad I'm coming to realize I've gotten branch out and play with others. So if you're worried, okay, so story mode operations do not require good gear. Neither do flashpoints. They're not really a huge deal. As long as you've got on like the right type of gear, it can help a lot. Like if you're accidentally wearing like tank gear as a DPS, you're in some trouble, okay? You're gonna run into some issues for sure. As long as you're wearing the right type of gear, you don't really need good gear. And the cool part is if you don't want to play with other people, you can totally gear up solo all the way to the max gear in the game. That's literally what this guide that I was looking at earlier is about. I'm gonna link that in chat just in case you want it. But if you want to branch out and play with other people, like I said, don't let your gear necessarily be what's holding you back. It's not. It's more like the social aspect that's the hardest part to get rolling. What was I doing? Oh, I have a tech fragment sheet of specific pieces that I'm buying. Gimpline says I ruined my thumb during sleepwalking a few years ago. Oh my gosh. I started reading your sentence about I ruined my thumb, and I thought you were gonna give me the story of how it happened. Sleepwalking was not what I was expecting. I'm really sorry. That sucks. What happened here? I apparently wrote D instead of a check mark. Does that mean I have it or don't have it? I'm gonna write question mark right here. Because I don't know. I'm assuming that means I probably got it, but not on this character. Okay, recons, not recons. Recons Assault Blaster is next up on the list. Recons Assault Blaster. Assault Cannon MK2. Boom! One more for the collection, but lovely. Recons Sniper Rifle MK1. Boom! Lovely. Revanite Assault Cannon MK1. Boom! One more for the collection. That's it. We're out of tech frags now. Lovely! Hey Galdor, nice to see you. Just don't go into ops naked, recommends Urza. Who would do something like that? Looks over at streamer. Excuse me! I'm allowed! It's official! I'm allowed to play without any clothes. I do all the work of showing up and I was gonna say putting the group together, but I usually don't even do that. So I do the work of showing up and yeah, I don't have to wear gear. Have a good day, Steph. Nice to see you. Star Wars EU Vanguard says, I was heavily trolled in PvP for having a gear rating of 329. I got matched with the preform group. That's above level 80 gear. I will say that. PvP is a weird case. PvP is kind of hard because let me really quickly figure out which character sheet I'm on. Or which character I should be playing. I've got my to-do list. So I don't have to try and remember. So I was playing on... Oh, I was playing on Flagship. That's right. He was collecting trooper armor. I don't want to wear gear and you can't make me. So PvP is a bit complicated. Let me answer any questions real fast first before I get into this. Haggisaurus Rex says, how do I select a server realm to play on? So when you go to create your character, Haggis, and I'll actually log off and show you that really fast once I'm loaded in. So you'll go to create your character. You'll be on like the little screen that says, do you choose the dark side or the light side? And it's all blue and red. By default, it picks a server for you, but you do not have to accept that choice if you don't want to. It picks one for you because most players wouldn't even understand what a server is if they're new to video games. Like, picking a server is a hindrance to just like actually starting to play the game. So let's say I go to create a character. I believe you press this exit button on the bottom left down here. I don't know exactly where it'll put you. I think it'll put you straight to the server selection if you don't have any characters yet. If you do have some characters, you just need to go down to the bottom left here. The server selection looks like a cardboard box with little dots flying out his butt. And here's where you can pick a server. And you can play on multiple servers, but your characters are locked to that server. And you have to pay cartel coins to move them, so you kind of want to start on whichever one you want to start on. So we're on Starforge. Satil Sean's the other North American server. And there's the APAC server for Asia Pacific and Oceanic places. Darth Malgus is the most populated European server. And vaguely English. Leviathan est pour les personnes qui parlent français, and Tulak Horde is the German server. Yeah, let's get back into Starforge. Exit button. Okay, back to PvP. Back to PvP. So PvP is a bit complicated. In operations, you have a boss that has X amount of health. And it always has X amount of health. And it also... Oh, cool. Is this Battle of Rishi? I think... Yes. Okay, cool. Does this character have gear on? Yes, she does. Amazing. Her inventory is very messy. I don't know what the heck's going on there. Let's clear it out just a little bit. Sell junk. Sell junk. Sell junk. Open up some crafting materials. I have a bunch of decorations that I'm not sure why. Or where they came from, to be very honest. Okay, good. I'm gonna go on in. So in operations and flashpoints, there is a boss that has a specific amount of health, and it needs to be killed usually in a specific amount of time. In story mode operations, that timer's really long, and you honestly are never gonna run into it. But you have a certain amount of healing that needs to be done, a certain amount of damage that needs to... Whoa, I really want to watch this cutscene. It's so cool. Ah, darn it, why did I spacebar through it? I am running the Battle of Rishi flashpoint. I'm going to spacebar at the end though, because there's a lot of spoilers there. I'm just running through to try and collect some specific gear. So it doesn't matter how much everybody individually contributes. The goal of the team is to complete the operation. If someone does 1 damage total and someone else does 100% of the damage, it's fine. The same end result happens. Probably one of the players gets to really gloat, you know, for being better than the other. But in the end, you all get the same result of the completed operation. The completed boss, everybody gets their rewards. It really doesn't matter who did the contributions, as the same result happens every time, and it's static, as in the boss has X amount of health. If your team combined can't make those checks, then changes have to be made, but otherwise it honestly doesn't matter too much. Like, it doesn't matter whether someone's well geared or stuff like that. PvP is very different. In PvP, because there is not a static enemy, and because the skill level of the enemy that you're fighting and their gear level can be very variable, you have kind of a social duty to be the best that you can be in that moment for your team. If you are not, you are in a way letting them down. What's complicated is it doesn't also really make sense for you to have the best gear in the game, the best skill level, the best augments, the best everything before you go into PvP, because you're not going to PvP for like a year if you're starting from scratch. There should be a bare minimum for going into PvP. The bare minimum would be level 80 gear, but even the game doesn't really tell you what the bare minimum is or should be, and players are going to disagree a lot. Like, I bet you there is players out there who recommend before you go into PvP you should have the absolute best gear in the game, because you can go pick that up solo before you jump into a team and take up one of those valuable spots. However, if you waited that long, no one would ever play PvP, because like no one would be able to. It's a bit of a complicated dance, and I don't necessarily think there is a right or wrong answer. So for example, the minimum gear rating of level 80 gear, so if you have level 80 gear on and you're not wearing some crap you picked up from questing while you're on or whatever, is going to be 324. The max is 344. And 344 purple fully augmented with your tactical and your full legendary augments, which is going to be very expensive and or hard to get for most players. Where in between you should be is like, I'm sure an ongoing debate, right? Here is my personal recommendation. If you are playing arenas, I think you have a higher social responsibility to your team to be better, because arenas require so much more contribution by the individual than war zones. That's because you're a member of a team with only 4 people total. So you're one of 4, and you make up 1/4 of the entire team's contributions against the enemy. And then second, because the other team is formed based on partially your role and stuff like that, your role. Let's say each team, you're a healer, and the other team will get a healer if you're a healer most of the time. That's how it tries to match make it. So if you're taking up the 1 healer spot for your team, and you're going in with very low gear, you are kind of essentially screwing over your team. Obviously for damage and tanking, it's a little different. But even damage, the kind of idea holds tight. If you're taking up 1/4 of the team and also either 1/3 or 1/2 of the damage that's supposed to be going out, and you're very new or you're very low geared, then you are taking away the chance for them to get someone that's better matched and stuff like that. But that's gonna apply to literally every game ever in the history of the universe that has players playing against other players. That could apply to a soccer team. That could apply to a mathletes team. That would apply to a dance crew. That would apply, you know, like any team that has only a set number of people. We don't tell kids don't join football because you suck butthole. We don't tell people don't join a dance crew because you're taking up a spot. I can't remember. Bridge, do you play it alone? I was gonna say chess, but chess you play alone, so it doesn't quite count. If you want to suck really bad, you can. It's fine. You're not hurting anybody else. So where that balance is in between, I don't exactly know. I know the balance is harder. There's more consequences if you are less skilled or less geared in arenas than there are in war zones, and that's one of the reasons I really like to play war zones. So personally, I just like the way they play, but when people are getting into PvP, I often recommend war zones, because in war zones they are the objective-based matches, versus arenas are completely about murdering the other team. It's a 4 versus 4 deathmatch. There's no... The mechanics are, how well can you stay alive because you know your class and you're good at moving around? How fast can you kill the other people before they kill you by having good gear, good knowledge of your class and role, and then on a side and a really more skilled level, how do you know the arena map itself and how to take advantage of it, like where to be, where to hide, where to run to get a good vantage point or to push somebody off. And that's like really getting meta. And then war zones I really like because you're only 1/8 of a team. I can't do that math, hang on. 100 divided by 8. You're only like 12% of a team. That's like barely anything. That's barely anything. Your individual contributions in terms of like being a good player are a lot lower. Like, you don't have to worry quite as much that your individual existence on a team will cause them to fail, you know? There's also 16 people total in the match, so who's on the other team also has a lot more effect, and can potentially also offset you being new, or you being less skilled, or you being less knowledgeable, or you being less geared. That's why I really like war zones. Oh right, Robin says also how well you know other classes and their weakness for arenas is also really important meta information to it being good. Okay. Now, when I'm talking about this, I'm talking about it like from an individual player standpoint who likes being able to help other players and does not want to be a burden on the team. I would like to once again plug the accessibility guide, because not all of these thoughts are necessarily useful. We do have a guide about playing SWTOR with general anxiety or social anxiety, and it talks a lot about like feeling like a burden on your team. Is one of the things a lot of people struggle with, and it doesn't necessarily mean they're like useful thoughts or even realistic when I'm like talking about it. So make sure to check that out if you're someone like me who struggles with that. Now, why I really recommend war zones? Why I really recommend war zones is because killing other players can be important, but is less important. In addition, one really good player on your team can honestly like really affect a match. And one really good player on the other team can really affect the match. So even your individual contributions may not affect the match itself a ton if other people are kind of carrying it one way or the other. Geeky Redhead says, wow, I didn't know they existed. I have social anxiety and agoraphobia. Well, I promise you the guide is not going to talk about agoraphobia because it's about video gaming, which is the opposite of dealing with going outside. But there is a wonderful, like huge, this is the biggest guide, I think, that of all the accessibility guides, because so many players deal with either general anxiety or social anxiety, or if not diagnosed, just the feelings that are often associated with those and grouping up and stuff like that. So huge guide with lots of like quotes from other players and stuff like that who have chimed in with advice and stuff like that. Why is there a silver armor set that has been 200 million for months now? Relax, SWTOR, because it's a naked person set. Are you stupid? No, I'm sorry. Don't you understand? People like to be naked. That's why. Yeah, it's a pretty cool set, actually. I really like that one. How can you get the currency for the tattered mystic armor? Because when I played them for the first time, the currency didn't drop. And I read that it doesn't drop after the first time or almost never. I've got some great news. I've got some info about that, but the bad news is it sucks. Do I have a guide? Yeah, we actually wrote one about this just last year, December. That's cool. It's also just a cool set, in addition to being a revealing set. This guide is about unique Flashpoint rewards. I've got a section about the Tattered Ritualist set. So if you wanted to go check that out, I don't even remember the details other than it's obnoxious. And there's limited ways to get it, and I shake my fists. Rakacha says, this raid looks amazing. Yeah, Rakacha, it's my favorite raid, Blood Hunt. I am sure you have never run it before because it is too difficult. For you. You are not good enough. Yeah, we were running TFB earlier. It was really fun. Really smooth run. Okay, so now back to PvP. I really like PvP because I find it fun. I did not find it fun at first because I found it anxiety inducing and just absolutely terrible, constantly like in the state of knots. And the only reason I got into it in the first place was because one of my guildmates kind of dragged me in and kept bullying me until I played with him. And it was honestly quite fun once I started understanding what was going on. So my biggest tips for PvP, if you want to get into it, and if you want to try it out and you want to have fun with it, rather than feeling anxious about it, is one, play war zones instead of arenas. They're technically more difficult, which is kind of funny because they have mechanics. They have like it's like a football match. There's some rules that you learn along the way. It's impossible for you to break the rules, so don't worry about that. Just like if you want to contribute more to your team, you want to understand what's actually going on, you know. Second tip is play with a friend or someone friendly. For example, if a guild that you're in offers a PvP night, that is like the best because everyone's goofing off and there's people to answer questions when you're confused. And more importantly, playing with a friend takes some of the edge off of it because even if things are going bad, like when you're both like sitting there giggling about how bad the match is, it's honestly a lot more fun. And like they can also, if they're a more experienced player, they can help watch out for you and like give you advices as you're playing. Like, oh, I see you got left at the node by yourself. I'll come swap out with you because you don't know how to babysit that yet, you know? Okay, so that's my advice. And what do I like about them? The thing I like about them the most is one, playing with other people can be really funny. Sometimes I wind up with my friends and I'm like, oh my god, we got in the same match. Or sometimes I wind up against my friends and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you, you know? Like, it's very silly when you start getting to the point where you can like actually recognize people and stuff. And it can be very exciting when something does go right. And I like the unpredictableness of it. Like, I never know how a match is gonna go, and that's really fun. That can only come with playing with and or against other people compared to the other types of content in the game. Cormac says, I hate the people who just wander around fighting and ignoring the objectives because it almost guarantees that the team will lose. So if they're for something like Hutball, if they're standing around fighting in the middle, that can actually be really beneficial to the team. And if they're actually good at fighting and killing people, that can actually be really beneficial. But I would also say a lot of people don't even really understand that there are objectives, and the game does a really poor job of kind of like explaining that. There's like the pop-ups at the beginning of the screen while you're loading in that I mostly just ignore. And there's also the voiceover, which is not necessarily very clear, but there's no like training simulation, so that's not necessarily, I don't really blame players for doing that, even though it also sometimes drives me nuts when I'm trying to win. But don't forget, if you're in randomized matches, ideally the game will have 8 other people on the other team, and some of them are running around being ding-dongs too, you know? But, and as Rakacha said, if you are a skilled player and you enjoy actually like the act of combat, it can be really fun to just go demolish people. If you go watch some of old Mark Biggs, B-I-G-G-S? Mark Biggs' older videos, or I think he sometimes would stream, like you'll watch him just going through and killing people, and it's really fun to watch, and you can see he's also very much still contributing to his team. If I had to guess, I assume the complaints are more against players who are just kind of randomly hitting people, you know? Korma says, or the ones who don't understand that when playing the capture the flag style war zones, you also have to defend them. Right. It can be frustrating because you're like, oh no, I did all this work to capture the node, but now my team doesn't know to defend them. And you'll absolutely see me getting slightly aggravated over it when we're playing. Or I'm just like, ugh. C'est la vie. But at the same time, the game does a very poor job of kind of teaching a player how to play PvP. Korma says, if possible, I tell people not to throw me the ball. I'll back them up or defend instead. Oh my god, I hate it when someone says don't throw me the ball, because sometimes you just gotta chuck it, you know. Oh, is there still a lot of toxicity in the PvP raid communities in SWTOR? So it's kind of a complicated topic, because I'm really learning the more that I play other games and the more I talk to other people and the more I learn about communities and stuff like that in other games as well as SWTOR. It really depends on who you are playing with on a regular basis, whatever game it's going to be or whatever activity it's going to be. So if you are playing with a guild and or friend group, it's going to be a very different experience to someone who does not do that and only plays through, say, general chat or like randomized groups. Because when you're playing with randomized groups or group finder or general chat or whatever, keep in mind that you're specifically playing with people who are not playing with friends already. So while some of them are going to be just great people, friendly people who don't have time to play regularly with other people, some are people who are like perpetually online and no one wants to play with them anymore. So like the percentages when you're using a group finder, whether it's PvP or Flashpoints or using like a general chat raid finder or whatever, then the chances of having someone a little poopy go up. Not saying that there's everybody nasty in there, just that the chances go up. I don't do a lot of outside grouping these days. I really recommend that people join guilds if that's something they're concerned about. And that nastiness that sometimes occurs, that happens in every game. It's just kind of a fact of life when you're doing an activity that doesn't necessarily have any consequences. Let's say you like to play Dungeons and Dragons, and you live in a city and most people are going to play in their houses. The best groups are going to be ones that are not open to joining. Like for example, I have every Sunday I play Dungeons and Dragons with some friends that I originally met online through SWTOR, and we have been playing for like years now. I don't even know how long. Multiple years. And you can't join us. It's closed. It's in our houses. It's not like we're not advertising. There's no group finder for it. You just can't join. And it's going to be like that for many activities in SWTOR as well. Just the same way. And now let's say you're in your city, you're looking for a Dungeons and Dragons group. You go and look at your local game shop. You go look on Facebook, you go whatever. Let's say there's someone who's not very nice and they also really want to play Dungeons and Dragons. They're doing the exact same thing because they don't have friends to play with. in real life, that person will join some groups and eventually get kicked out. And eventually they're going to get kicked out of all the groups in the city. Someone's going to make a new group, they're going to join, and they're going to get kicked out of that eventually again. But in SWTOR, unless you're actively breaking the terms of service in a way that's big enough that they're gonna ban you, you just get to keep playing. There's no real consequences, to be honest. And that's kind of like the difference between kind of partially anonymous social gaming versus doing things in real life that can have greater consequences, more social ostracization if you are like regularly a butt wipe, or more inclusion if you're nicer, you know? What's nice about online gaming is if you are nice, you have a chance of having greater social inclusion, because like a friend will be like, oh yeah, my buddy Mark from New Jersey. Not that jerk Jerry from New York. My buddy Mark from New Jersey. I was playing SWTOR with him the other day. Let's all play together tonight because we need a 5th person. Let's invite him, you know? And yeah, so it's going to be that toxicity that you're mentioning is going to be in any game as far as I can tell, and it's going to depend who you're playing with every day, and that's why I super recommend joining a guild, because there is more social responsibility to be nicer. Okay, I hope that was useful. And someone asked something along the lines of, can I avoid PvP altogether? Yeah, you can avoid any part of the game. There's literally nothing in the game that you need to do. First off, it is a video game. You do not even need to play it if you don't want to. Start with that. Second is this game is pretty compartmentalized. PvP is very much its own thing. We've been really enjoying it because they have this new type of rewards system called PvP Seasons that encourages people to PvP during specific times of the year, I guess you could say. And there are some rewards that you can only get through that, and there are some really cool rewards that encourage people to check out PvP who might not have otherwise. I'm going to link the info about PvP Seasons in case you wanted to check that out to see if there's anything that you were like, oh my god, I need that in my life and it's worth PvPing for. Otherwise, there's no real need to, unless say like a friend invites you along and says, come PvP with me, I really want you to try it out, you know? Machida says, I recently got back into SWTOR about 8 years absence. I wasn't still shocked to see the rampant toxicity in fleet chat. Extremely disappointed that this doesn't have any consequences at all. So, unfortunately, SWTOR, and it has been this way pretty much forever, has a mostly hands-off moderation approach. As far as I can tell, there's like, at any given time, there's not anyone watching it, and they also don't have any type of I guess social contract, kind of like World of Warcraft does. So you'll often see politics and other kind of weird stuff discussed in Gen Chat versus people like, you know, talking about the game that they're playing. And it can be a very negative experience for someone coming into the game. I don't even know. I don't think I've ever seen a message like deleted live, which is crazy to me, to have a live service game and essentially not have anyone moderating it. You can report people and there are sometimes actions later, but if it's just someone like being a freaking weirdo and not specifically breaking any rules, then usually there's no consequence. Now, what you have to remember is the people chatting in general chat are the kind of people who don't have anybody else to talk to because no one else wants to hang out with them. I'm not saying everybody who doesn't have friends is like people in general chat, or rather Trollmankosh chat or the equivalent, but the chances of people being the kind of people who are chronically online and not really doing things in real life and not just hanging out with guildmates, playing golf with friends, not running around RPing, you know, they're more likely to be the people in general chat. So just keep that in mind. And that's once again why I super recommend joining a guild that fits in with whatever type of society you are, not society, what type of community you are trying to connect with. Once again, I would like to plug the Guild Finder. Yeah, I like that. I like the Jawa movie game. I'm always a fan of that. So that's normal. If you can survive Baron's chat, general chat, and SWTOR is nothing, right? Back in the day, Baron's chat. So for the player who was asking, oh, set fire to Republic ships. For the player who was asking, can I avoid PvP? Yeah, you can. Like I said, as long as there's nothing in that list that you feel you desperately need. And that goes for other parts of the games. You can avoid crafting altogether. You can avoid RP altogether. You can avoid operations altogether. You can avoid group content altogether. The only one that might be hard is story. Story and or leveling can be a little hard if you want to do anything else in the game, because some stuff's story locked and most stuff has a level lock to it. So I guess leveling is the only thing you can't avoid. But yeah, hopefully that was a useful answer to you. For those of you who are asking about toxicity, I hope that kind of explains like why things are the way they are, and more importantly, why, if you know the why, you can kind of find ways to circumvent that, playing with people of your choice rather than playing with random people. And then second, can you avoid PvP? Yeah, you absolutely don't have to. Absolutely. I'm desperate to join a guild in SWTOR, but almost impossible to find other people who raid in EU primetime. Really, Machita? Like, I don't play on the EU servers, and I apologize. I don't have as much direct information. I imagine it gets a little trickier because the EU primetime is a lot more varied, right? So in North America, we have the prime time's about 3 hours long, give or take. 3 to 5 hours, depending on kind of the day and stuff like that. We have the East Coast prime time and the West Coast prime time. So New York prime time and Los Angeles prime time. Wah! And as far as I think the New York prime time might be more active, but I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. But then in the EU, there's not, it's gonna be spread out across like 4 or 5 time zones, basically from the UK to EU time zones. Let me look that up really fast. Oh, not that spread out. So it's gonna be from about the UK to give or take about here, right? With more on the, oh gosh, you can't see it, hang on. With more over here. So mostly the United Kingdom time zone, and mostly, oh, you guys are mostly all in the same one. I lied. That's why I need to look it up. Rakat just said people use general chat to talk about real life stuff are people you should feel sad about because nobody cares what they say in real life, and that's I guess that's why they're talking in game about it. Right. And that's why I recommend like grouping up and find people who are just normal or more in line with how you like to play. Oh, Mojito says I play on the Starforge server and it's hard to find people who raid on EU primetime. That's because EU primetime is freaking 8 a.m. on Starforge time. That's a you problem. Go make a Darth Malgus character, you little poop. No. Yeah, that's gonna be really rough. Like, we play in the EU primetime, but it's only because that is the time that used to be before my work started. Like, literally, like, a time when no one else plays, you know? And a lot of people hanging out here are actually in the EU time zone, which is funny. The game cutscenes looks good with the new graphics changes, right? They've done so many over the years that it's really nice looking, in my opinion, at least. I'm looking forward to seeing the work that they're doing on the bullet points that they mentioned in the dev tracker. I can't remember exactly what they were. Like, I think the Chiss Blotchy stuff was something it sounded like they were taking a peek at, you know? I wish we had more info about, like, are you actually gonna fix it? Or is it, like, on the wish list? Or... I started out on the US servers, don't want to switch to EU. Too much stuff, I'll lose my migrating. Plus, there's so many more people playing US servers. Okay, that's super true. That there's more people in the US because it's a, you know, it's a US created game to start with. But just so you know, transferring over a character, if you decided to, would bring along your entire legacy, and you could load up that character's, like, bank and your inventory if you wanted to bring a ton of stuff over. Just so you know. Just so you know. Are they actually going to fix the Rishi Stronghold? Wait, Geeky, I thought the doors in the Rishi Stronghold were fixed. They posted about that the other day. Did they not get fixed? Jedi Revenant says, I saw a meme that said Shin Hati from Ahsoka is a copy of older Lana. She really does remind me of Lana Beniko, the way she looks. Azera says, Another question from what my small research has brought up, is there any reason for crafting outside of biochem? I took artifice with my sentinel, but is crafting at the end valuable? Yeah, great question. Okay, so biochem reusable med packs are the only thing, in my opinion, that are exclusive enough to crafting to be super, super, super worth it. Everything else can be crafted by someone else, and you just buy it and or trade for it. Even better if you have guildmates who will craft for you, like, at cost. Like, yes! You just give them the materials or the credits that it would cost to get the materials. And so everything else is cosmetic for the most part. Augments are one of those ones that I recommend not necessarily crafting yourself, but just getting the materials and having someone else craft them. Those are part of endgame though. But there's no other level 80 gear that's like important to crafting, and everything else is very cosmetic. So Artifice can make dyes, lightsabers, color crystals, they're all cool, but like you can just buy them on the GTN. Same thing with decorations. There's a ton of cool decos that you can craft, but you can also just buy them on the GTN, you know? Yeah, Mojita, I'm curious if I would recommend make a, so when we talk about like time zones and like I'm spacebarring, no spoilers. Good. We skipped the worst of the spoilers. Great, perfect. We usually recommend to people make a level 1 character on another server, level up to level 10. Should be pretty fast, you know, and then you can go check out the fleet in whatever is your time zone that you actually play. Not your time zone, whatever block of time you actually play. So for example, if you play after work or after school, whenever that time is, go check out the fleet. Ideally the Imperial fleet, because that's going to be the more active one out of the two factions, and see what it feels like to you. See if it feels populated enough. That's what we tell people when they play during a weird time compared to other people, and then they can kind of figure out which of the servers fits their personal prime time. Yeah. Cool. Return to the safe house. Awesome. One more step done, and on my journey to go collect pirate gear. Yes. Luca, Etuga, brasileiro. Luca, are you from Brazil? Asked Silvius. Oh, Dawnwalker, you made a Starforged Jedi? Aww. Oh, you make a little Starforged character. You're gonna play with us in the future. Ha ha ha. Ooh, Trap says, unless you have old archived gear crafting schematics that can't be gotten anymore. That's why I haven't switched my OG character of synth weaving to biochem, and I don't want to lose those. Yes, I entirely agree with that. I have my synth weaving, my main Imperial rating character is a synth weaver with old schematics, and I'm like, I ain't switching her. Screw that. Nah. Yeah. But if you're looking for guilds, I also you've got a invitation from Geeky Redhead, it sounds like. But if you wanted to do more research, you could also check out the SWTOR Guild Finder. And Geeky, if you haven't already, go post on the Guild Finder. When you do fashion shows, will you go to the Sean server or just Starforge? Oh my gosh, Jedi Revenite is probably just gonna be Starforge. I've tried to do fashion shows on multiple servers before, but it is very, very, very difficult. Like, it's hard to even do it cross-faction. I fight it all the time. Sir Joseph says, I'm at work currently, but man, do I wish I was home to play. I'm jealous. I'm sorry. Okay, nice. We got our hat. We got our Bolt Blaster helmet. User ship to travel to Yavin 4 for Confederacy. And I think this is where we figured out that we are quote-unquote allowed to stop because we will have collected all the pieces that we need. So let's go sort this, I think is what I need to do. So here's some shot. Oh my god, my inventory is just a bit of a mess, and I'm like, I can't find anything. Okay, so we've got the chest piece, which is going to be the same for both sets. We've got 2 pairs of pants. The first one is Raiders Cove, so those should go together. Raiders Cove is this hat. Raiders Cove boots. Raiders Cove gauntlets. And then Raiders Cove vamp braces, awesome. And Skyridge boots And then we only have a belt for one of the 2 sets just because that's how life is sometimes. But luckily it's the same belt. Oh, awesome! We can go! Oh, I'm so excited! That's the finished collection. Oh yeah! Where's my to-do list? You guys ready for this? Boom! Cross it off the list. Da-da-da. And we actually finished crew mix while we're at it. So if I want to collect all the pirate sets, I technically only have 1 more character to continue. Oh, that's so exciting. It's so exciting. So right now on the armor website, I have 1 coding thing that I have to finish. It's more of a design thing. Oh, let's put my pirate gear on. And then second, we have a big spreadsheet that we're finishing that's linking up the old screenshots from SWTOR Fashion and making them show up on Swtorista.com's armor database, so that they are essentially combined. And I'm also going to make it so that when you look up stuff on the old SWTOR Fashion, it'll bring you to the new page because it'll have all the linked armors, but still give you an option to see just the database backup too, in case something went wrong along the way. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, she needs to put her hat on. She needs to show it. She needs to show it. Yay! Pirate hat, pirate hat, pirate hat, 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 hat. Is SWTOR Fashion accessible again? No. But we have made a full backup of it. Full backup of it right here. It's not perfect. It doesn't have the comments. There's gonna be still a few weird types of categories that didn't quite make it through, but the essentially everything is there. Twee looks so cute in pirate gear. Oh my gosh, I know. I love the hats that show through let your Leku show through. I love it. Oh, hey, Lucas is from Brazil. That's awesome. Silvius. Silvius is from Portugal. I was trying to see if Lucas was from Brazil. But Silvius, if you would like to share any Spanish groups or websites or guilds, feel free to share with Lucas, because Lucas would probably appreciate that. Templo de Kyber? SWTOR? Comunidad Española. Here. This is the only one I know of, but there's probably more. So yeah, this is the pirate set I was collecting, and there's also the version with the face mask is the second. Go away, Malavi Quinn. I'm trying to show fashion. Go away, shoot. And there's the version with the little face mask too, which is also freaking adorable. Oh my god, so cute, so cute. That's the only one I know, and I don't know them super well, but they've been fairly friendly, the few people I've met from it. Oh yeah, okay, so Mojito says I actually did check out your guild tool and I joined White Rose on 1 character. Lovely guild, but raid times were US evenings. Right, that's the hard part, right? Is getting to figure out where things line up for when you actually play. Oh my god, it can be hard sometimes. But yeah, we're doing a giant spreadsheet and I'm so excited. Basically, I have fixed every bug on this stupid armor website since 2021. We have had bug reports sitting in the Discord ticket bug report channel since 2021, and I have fixed every one of those. I did it. I've done it. I have fully succeeded. I am so proud of myself. And I'm looking forward to playing with you all tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be Galactic Seasons 3-set day, where we go do Galactic Seasons together, because it's fun. That's the only reason. That's why we play video games. We're going to go see who else is playing Star Wars, The Old Republic. Maybe we'll beat someone we haven't met before. I don't know. I like there's someone whose name is... there's someone playing in French, and I really want to raid them, but I won't do that to you guys, because I know most of you, shockingly, don't also speak French. You know, as it is. Let's go see the person named I'm Just Keith, because I think that's a very fun name. Okay, raid, I'm Just Keith. We'll go say hi and ask them what they're up to. I'm Just Keith. There we go. Bye, guys. See you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. Oh, yeah. Let's play Galactic Seasons together tomorrow. Bye.